Hi, you guys. I'm doing my typical 5 mile meditation contemplation walk is what I call it. Um, in Camarillo, California, at a place called Mission Oaks Park. That's where I do my 5 mile meditation contemplation walk. Um, and I get some vitamin D in my system. That's why I don't have a shirt on or a hat on right now. My wife would like me to have a hat on, but I want to get some vitamin D on my head and everywhere else today. It's not as hot as it could be, so I'm always willing to run back to the car if I have to. But anyway, I'm trying to get the vitamin D all over and get some exercise and clear my thoughts and everything. So today, we're going to be talking about a health tip. Okay, occasionally I do a health tip for today. And this one is all about sleep, exercise, and memory function. In the March Journal of Neuroimage, particularly the University of the McGill University of Occupational and Physical Therapy, along with the University in Montreal, there's two assistant professors that I see you're back walking in the West Coast. Yep, Snuggles 668. Yep, you're right about that, Snuggles. He at the University of Montreal and also the McGill University of Physical and Occupational Therapy. Those two individuals were conducting some research on sleep. There is one Mark Roig, again, Assistant Professor Mark Roig out of the McGill University of Physical and Occupational Therapy, along with a co-author of this paper, Assistant Professor Fabien Del Maso, M-A-S-O, out of the University of Montreal. They were looking at the effects of of learning a new skill, for instance, and they had a control group where a certain number of individuals did some exercise and they slept and they recalled or were asked to recall the task after a 24-hour period. They actually did an 8-hour interval where they tried to recall, get the people to repeat the task rather, of playing a video game after the 8-hour mark and then after the 24-hour mark. The 24-hour mark seemed to reveal that after you get a good night's rest, after learning a new skill, you do some exercise intensely for like 10 to 15 minutes, and you get a good night's rest. And then what happens is you're able to recall that task that you were trying to learn the previous day. The control group were not able to recall the task as much as the other group who actually got the good night's sleep and exercised intensely. So one group didn't exercise intensely and one group did. The group that exercised intensely after learning the new skill, playing a video game, for instance, in this case, again after the 24-hour mark, the group that got the intense exercise, they actually recalled of the 25% that had a better recall of the new skill or the task, which was learning a video game. So it looks like this has implications for learning a new skill. It seems like the motor cortex was activated or is activated during the evening, especially after physical exercise. So make sure you guys understand the implications of things that you want to learn as well. If you're trying to learn a new task, and I'm going to extend this to my studying and reading, for instance. I'm going to continue learning things throughout in the morning or the earlier part of the day, getting my physical exercise like I am now, and I go to the gym, whatever, getting a good night's sleep, and then the next day, in my case, I want to see how much I retain. So, but the motor cortex seems to be responsible for allowing us to recall the tasks that we learned the previous day. And in this case, the research indicates that the brain activity was higher, indeed a lot higher, after testing, after the group learned a new skill, they exercised, and their brains were analyzed after exercising, and it looked like the activity of the brain was higher in the group that did the exercise as compared to the group that didn't. So it seems like when you activate your brain through physical exercise, especially after learning a new task, that's where you really get a chance to have that new task stored in your long-term memory. So after that good night's sleep, and you probably have to go into the REM cycle, not just a regular, superficial type of sleep, whatever, but the REM cycle. There's probably 4 or 5, at least 5 or 6 maybe, different levels of sleep. And you want to go into the REM cycle more than likely, so that you actually get a lot of rest, and then and that way you can increase your memory retention. So there's definitely seems like there's a correlation between, again, learning a new skill and exercising 10 to 15 minutes intensely, and then getting a good night's sleep. Let's see what this person is saying. Snuggles668 is saying, do you talk about, whoops, okay, where did that go? See if I don't know if I could recall it. Let's see, live chat, some messages. Okay, I don't know what that was, Snuggles. I have to look at it later probably. If I'm gonna post it again, maybe I could take a look at it, okay? Otherwise, I'll have to take a look at it later. But definitely, it looks like there's some correlations, again, between learning a new skill, learning a new skill, intensely exercising for 10 to 15 minutes, and getting a good night's sleep, okay? So this is going to be posted on my website, by the way. I'm going to include the research from Dr. Mark Roig, assistant professor out of the McGill School of Physical and Occupational Therapy. And if you want to look at this research yourself, in the meantime, in the March issue of Neuroimage, you can find the research. Dr. Mark Roig and, assistant professor Mark Roig and assistant professor Fabian Dal, D-A-L, Masso, M-A-S-O, out of the University of Montreal. Very interesting study, I think, and should be especially helpful for those of you who like to learn new things and try to figure out how the body works, how does memory retention work, along with physical exercise, along with learning new skills and different things, okay? So anyway, we're going to wrap this session up, and we'll, let me see. Why couldn't I see that chat just now? Share microphone, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, top chat may not be visible. Oh yeah, here it is. Do you talk about the type of food you ingest to help your body because, oh, come on. Let me get it again. Because what you intake determines your output. Oh yeah, sure. This particular session is not about food, but definitely the higher quality food, natural foods with no GMO, no antibiotics or hormones. Use an application called EWG, Environmental Working Group. Make sure you got the highest quality food that you can get. Hopefully farm fresh. Go to your local farmers markets and get your local food from there. Spend a little bit more money on your food and get better outcomes as a result of spending more money on your food. But that keeps you away from the doctors and the hospitals. So definitely there's a correlation. Besides, when you do your exercise, Snuggles, you'll find that the people who eat right, or the people who eat better, are definitely going to be the same people who are going to get better outcomes. They'll be in the gym longer, they'll work out harder, and they'll recuperate faster. So yeah, there's definitely correlations between the food you ingest and the output of the body itself. Okay, your body just thrives a lot better based upon what you put in it. So yeah, you don't want to sacrifice or compromise too much in that area. Definitely, it's like putting a bad gasoline in your Ferrari or your Lamborghini. You're just gonna ruin it. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up this session, you guys, and we appreciate if you share it and read the article and see if you can benefit from the information. Have a good day. Thanks. Take care. Bye.